All right, so as we're all getting hyped for the final season of Stranger Things, we've got to talk about something. There was this one huge reveal in season 4 that honestly changes everything. It flips the whole series on its head. So yeah, let's get into it.
I mean, this is the big one, right? Who is the real bad guy in Stranger Things? For years, we all thought we had it figured out. But what if I told you the Demogorgon was just a soldier? And the Mind Flayer? Well, he was just a puppet. The truth is way, way darker than that.
Because everything, every single terrifying thing that's happened in Hawkins, every monster, every kid who's gone missing, every frickin' gate to another dimension, it all comes back to a single source. One person. Patient Zero. Okay, so this is the heart of it all. The real villain? It was never the monster of the season. It's always been one person, one consciousness, a puppet master, who's been pulling the strings from the shadows since day one.
So think about it. Everything you've seen, from the moment Will Byers vanished in Season 1, all the way to the insane battle at Starcourt Mall, it was all just one move in a very long, very patient game of revenge. All of it, orchestrated by one guy pulling every single string.
So you're probably wondering, how is that even possible? Well, to get it, we have to rewind. I mean, way back, before Season 1, before any of us even knew what a gate was. We have to go to the origin story of this villain, and of course, the one person who could ever stand up to him. 11.
So, let's talk about Henry Creel, or as Dr. Brenner called him, 1. This guy was the original, the very first kid experimented on at Hawkins Lab. He was the template, the patient zero. In fact, his DNA was used to create all the other psychic kids, yeah, including 11. And this guy's darkness, it started early. As a little kid, he decided humanity was basically a plague that needed to be wiped out, and he started with his own family. So, Brenner finds him, tries to bottle up that power, but nope. In 1979, 1 goes for it. He tries to get a young 11 to join his Destroy the World Club, and when she said no, it kicked off an absolutely epic showdown right there in the lab.
Okay, and this is the single most important part. In that fight, 11 didn't kill him. She did something way, way bigger. She blasted him clean into another dimension. But here's the twist. It was his arrival there, his power, his rage, that created the Upside Down. He took this raw, empty dimension and shaped it into that nightmare version of Hawkins. So when she accidentally opens the first gate 4 years later, she's not discovering a new place. She's just opening a door back to the prison he turned into a kingdom.
Seriously, let that sink in for a second. The Upside Down wasn't some ancient evil place they just happened to find. It was made. In 1979, when 11 pushed 1 into it, she literally accidentally gave her biggest enemy his own personal kingdom to rule.
And stuck in that kingdom, soaking in all its raw, dark energy, Henry Creel changed. He got twisted, transformed. He basically merged with his own creation and evolved into that nightmare-fuel creature we all know as Vecna. So, with all that in mind, we have to look at everything differently now. The first 3 seasons, you got to rewatch them because they're not what you think. This one piece of information changes the entire game. So, you remember what we thought, right? We thought the Demogorgon was the big bad of Season 1, and that the Mind Flayer was this ancient, godlike hive mind. But the truth? They were just puppets. The Demogorgon was basically Vecna's attack dog, a scout. But the Mind Flayer, oh, that was his masterpiece.
Yeah, you heard me. That giant, terrifying smoke spider thing that took over Will and built an army of the flayed, he wasn't the king. He was the general. Vecna literally sculpted him out of the shadows and particles of the Upside Down to be the front man for his army, all while he stayed hidden in the background pulling all the strings.
Which brings us to Season 4. See, after years of basically poking and prodding Hawkins' defenses using his puppets, Vecna finally decides, all right, playtime's over. It's time for him to step out of the shadows and finish his master plan himself.
And this is where you see how calculated he is. His plan is this horrifying 4-step process. First, he targets kids who are dealing with some serious trauma, right? Uses their guilt to get inside their heads, and every time he kills one of them, that psychic blast tears open a new gate. The end goal? Get to 4 gates, combine them, and rip a giant, unstoppable hole between the worlds.
And the terrifying part? He did it. He got Chrissy, he got Fred, he got Patrick, and then he got Max.
Even though she came back, her heart stopping for that minute was enough. That was the fourth kill. The fourth gate opened, and the final seal was broken. That was it. 4 kills to kickstart the end of the world in Hawkins.
The result is just catastrophic. Those 4 gates merge, and they just rip Hawkins apart, creating this giant wound in reality. So the Upside Down isn't just, leaking through a little crack anymore. It is pouring into our world. The final war isn't on its way. It's already started.
And of course, who would know what the enemy wants better than his very first victim, Will Byers? He's still connected to Vecna's hive mind, and he lays it out perfectly. He says Vecna's not going to stop. This isn't just about Hawkins anymore. He wants everything. He wants everyone. We're talking about an extinction-level event here.
So this leaves us with this one massive question as we head into the final season, right? 11 didn't just open a door. Her fight with 1 is what created the Upside Down in the first place. So to really truly win, is it enough to just close the gate? Or does she have to figure out a way to unmake an entire world, to literally erase her own creation? And you have to wonder, what would something like that even cost?